Shalom, shalom.
It ain't Shabbat.
No, but I enjoyed Shabbat so much I just wanted to stay Shabbat. And Shabbat is not on Sunday. You are correct about that. All right, let's go back over here and see if I can hook in on my live on the big screen where I can read everything. Well, I can see everything and do everything. We'll just sit here and wait for folks to come on in.
Trying to cover up an old box. Well, who is that good-looking heifer?
That's a good-looking heifer on there, ain't she? The singing woman. Y'all, she's the singing woman.
You mean the bellering woman?
The bellering woman. The belly aching, bellering nag.
Okay, you can hush now. They're gonna get in trouble before he ever gets started.
That's exactly right. Let me just go down here and formally welcome everybody.
My nose has to start running when I get live.
You better go catch it.
Have you ever heard that saying that when your nose is itching, somebody has got a hole in their britches or something like that?
What's up, Soldier Farms? Man, you ready for some more Maccabees? Well, Maccabees is a singing group. Well, we're going to be reading again from the Maccabees. We're going to wait a minute and see if our big buddy shows up. Man, have y'all seen it? I'm looking on the news this morning, they shooting, what was it, Wisconsin? Oh, burning the church down. I don't agree with that denomination, but I wouldn't go and burn the church down and shoot a bunch of folks. Michigan, that's it. That's crazy, folks. That is crazy. I haven't heard what his motives was. I hadn't heard what gender or motive or nothing was. Another shooting that occurred, I think around 10:30, 11 o'clock last night in North Carolina at a waterfront community. That was ignorant. These people are crazy. Yeah, I've been running through YouTube and Facebook, not getting any clear details right now anyway. They're keeping it all a secret for right now, I guess. Too much political hot mess going on right now. I guess they don't want to release any details. Yeah, there's a lot of politics going on, and like I've always said, you can't separate politics from religion. It's going to intertwine in some which way, fashion, form, shape. It's just like in my beliefs that I don't believe that Yahweh is at all happy with abortion at all. Well, that goes against some other people. It winds up in a big political fiasco. You see what I'm saying? You can't separate religion from politics. Oh, about near impossible. No, I don't need any right now. Oh, about near impossible to separate anything from politics. Even church and state, to some degree, is all mixed in. Oh, I'm glad at this moment we don't have a state-run religion or a religion run by the state.
Give me a coffee refill.
So no. I just like Paul was talking about. We fight not against flesh and blood, but our spirits in high places, principalities, powers. But the world has just went crazy. I mean, I sure am disappointed that Charlie Kirk got killed. I am absolutely saddened by that. If there was any good thing that I could talk about from the death of Charlie Kirk, it would be the revival that seems to be taking place, both politically and religiously. A lot of people are now going to church where they haven't been to church in probably ever. Yeah, fanaticism. But it's crazy. Oh, but yeah, the Charlie Kirk has definitely brought about a two-part revival. One is politically, and the other is religiously. Oh, there's several. Now I don't know if people getting on TikTok just want to get TikTok views, saying they're coming from the Democratic Party, they're now conservative. I don't know. I understand people may do that, but according to how violent the left has been over the past ever, I don't see a lot of people doing that just to get clicks, because the left will, what do they call it when the left will shun you. They will mark you for harassment, termination. They'll give out your address and everything. So what do they call that? I can't brain part. I can't remember. But I don't see a lot of people doing that on account of the left being so violent. I don't think nobody would just make one. Well, there might be a few crazies out there. Doxing, that's it. That is it, Soldier Farm. They will dox you. They will shun you. They will criticize you. So if somebody's going and making I was a Democrat, but now I'm a conservative video just for the heck of it, they sure need to know what they're in for. Yes, Jim, I was looking at Facebook, and your name come up by your, well, what was your picture? You don't have that on there anymore.
Sit down.
Hush. Hey, man, every blooming time we try to go live, dogs got to go crazy. But man, this world has been in a mess for a minute.
Get down. Get down. Leave me alone.
Man, my buddy ain't come in yet. What, you figure the other one would draw flies or something? Yeah. Rats or roaches? Man, I tell you what, people ain't listening to nothing anymore. I mean, it takes something really big to shake things up anymore. Oh, fix the camera here a little bit. But it really takes something to get anybody to listen. Like the death of Charlie Kirk. Oh, what's up, making sawdust, man? Appreciate you coming in. Well, I appreciate you and Jim both coming on in here. Oh, Macon, are you getting back in? I hope your surgery went well. I know you was scheduled surgery a while back. Oh, everything come out all right? You figuring to get back in the shop and go back to Macon? Because I am truly anxious to see that. I ain't seen a good making sawdust video since you was in the dungeon, friend. I'd like to see you get back in there in the shop and go back to making stuff.
You put him off?
November or December, so you still been put off. You ain't had it yet, so you're still hurting. Sure enough, Jim. Yeah, bless your heart.
Man, it's a long time till November.
Yeah, sure enough. Well, it ain't as long as it was.
I know, but sometimes getting over the surgery ain't as bad as the pain you had to suffer getting up to it.
Yeah. Feeling for you, Megan, because I know how you feel. My back's about to give out on me. It's just like some of these cancer patients have said that, they say that they have their good days and they have their bad days. And man, I tell you what, this past Tuesday was a really bad day for me. I was hurting so bad it was affecting my temperament. I was snapping left and right.
Oh yeah, he was fit to be fine.
But that would hurt. And days ain't no way I could do anything in the shop. Stand up, my whole left leg be on fire, calf muscles be tight as a banjo string. Get out of there.
What's she doing?
Dude, down there around my chair.
Yeah.
Lever.
If he goes down all of a sudden, you'll know one of the dogs done hit one of them buttons in his chair and made his chair fall off. That's funny.
So no. Ain't funny for me. It jars my back every time it does that. But I did last Tuesday. I Yeah, that's right. Don't you just love them? But even though last Tuesday was a high Sabbath, I was hurting so bad I had to try to get some relief, and it was a nice coincidence, and I don't believe in coincidences. But there was a chiropractic office right next door to our church in Jackson, the headquarters to the church. Now, the church we go to is in Corinth, but the one in Jackson, Tennessee is right next to a chiropractic office. We got just a small storefront church, and like I say, the chiropractic office next door. So I had to excuse myself, and I went out to church, right over to the chiropractic office, and he pulled and he twisted and he bounced and pushed and he told me, he said, you waited a little late. Said, you're all swole up, stiff. Said, I think I might have done you a little good, but you still got swelling and stuff. So he gave me some medicine for that. And I was pretty good up till a couple of days ago. Man, it started pinching again, boy. Woo! But that really hurt.
CBD.
Give me some CBD.
Some CBD oil.
Yeah. But yeah, that back pain hurts. My beard looks better. I thought it looked more gray. Yeah, don't I know that's right, Jim? Man, at least I could get out of the chiropractic office with being able to breathe. Man, I'm telling you, even every breath you take when your back's hurts. Oh, but that was, yeah. But I don't have spasms in my back, but I've got spasms in my left leg and the calf muscle where the muscles are just drawn up tight all the time. And it'll sit there and just quiver. Man, it makes me sick in my stomach when it does that all the time. Man. Man, bless your heart. Jim, I don't know if you're familiar with making sawdust. He's got a YouTube channel now. He hadn't been on there for a while. He had moved, and he's really had some hardships since he moved. Hadn't done a lot on his YouTube channel in the last little bit. But he's a good maker. Good maker. Phlebitis. Yeah, I noticed something was wrong with Ozzy. He or Izzy. Oh, but he don't seem to be looking like he's doing all that good. He's still having to go around in a wheelchair. Blood clots. Yeah, y'all hook up with each other and making sawdust. You know, I ain't telling you to get out there when you're hurting, but man, I'd sure love to see some more videos. I would surely love to see more videos. And this week I'm starting in on doing more videos. Uh, After some things that have went on the past 2 or 3 weeks, all these shootings, Charlie Kirk's passing, uh, I had already had a conviction of going a little further. It really started when I made the public announcement that I don't really believe in praying publicly. And then it started to convict me. Uh, so starting this week, from week to week, I guess we can start tonight, really. I'm not going to do a public prayer tonight, but I'm going to do a list. If anybody wants prayer, Making Sawdust, Jim, both of y'all are on my prayer list already. I try to pray for everybody on my friends list on Facebook and all my subscribers on YouTube, those who join in with us on the Bible studies. So all those names are called out. You made the trade, 18 months ago? Yeah, that's me making sawdust.
Who's that guy that's always doing those trail cam? Where he's got the deer coming up there. And
Oh,
he subscribed to my channel. What is his name? I can't think of it.
I can't remember.
Possum or something.
Yeah, Possum.
Yeah.
Possum's a good one too. I like seeing those wildlife videos.
Yeah. There's a lot of things you can.
But what I was talking about is this week I want to at least get at least one video a week out. I may be doing what Making Sawdust is talking about, just kind of blogging a little bit. But I want prayer to be an essential part of it. We can, we sure can. Wasn't really prepared to start this week in it, but yeah, we can do it. Now, Making Sawdust, let me know, am I pronouncing your name right when I say Groner? But yeah, I'm gonna start making at least 1 to 2 videos a week, and I want I guess you could call them rabbinical or ceremonial prayers in the videos. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna make that as an intro to my videos. But yeah, it's just something I feel like needs to be done. Okay. Man. So I guess that's where you may want to flip that light on over yonder to have just a little more light. I don't know if my buddy Ray's going to be joining in on us or not. If everybody would, if you could, if you want to,
If you don't,
please hit that like and share and subscribe. Might help this little old channel out a little bit. The more we can get in here, the more prayer that we can have. The more teaching we can have. Is everybody okay with the Maccabees teaching?
are you making a list of?
Well, I ain't got 3 names right now. Oh,
You said to warn a fella, will you take your hat off and blind everybody?
what's that?
Can you not see it?
Hey, love you, bro. Love all y'all. But blind the fella, I tell you what.
You want to see his legs?
Oh, now she's gonna go talking. But yeah, guys, I'm just trying to make sure everybody's getting a little something out of these teaching on the Maccabees. Jim, I know that you said you'd done some articles or something on the Maccabees before. Everything looking good to you? Anything you want to add to it before we get started?
It isn't really chapters. He reads a lot. He probably has enough hair on his legs to go weave a blanket.
Almost.
We got a Aussie. We got a what do you call that? Aussie Australian Shepherd, and oh my goodness, every day our floor looks like a hurricane hit it. It's terrible. We got hair everywhere.
Gideon. All right, well, if everybody's still enjoying the book of Maccabees, we're going to get started on chapter 11. You may want to flip that light in on.
Everything's on. It's just dark.
It's just dark.
You're going to have to squint.
I reckon. All right, you need over a little bit when you can get onto that light.
Well, I don't like getting too close.
Hey, like I say, guys, I appreciate y'all coming in. I kind of really wish my buddy Ray would come in, but he may. Says there's 6 watching. He may be laid up in bed because he ain't been feeling good in a little bit. So he's definitely one that's on the prayer list, and Mr. Jim and Mr. Groner is definitely going to be on the prayer list.
Write everybody's name down so you don't forget it.
I got them.
Okay. See how long the chapter 11 is. 1, 2. Chapter 11 is pretty long. We might only get chapter 11 tonight.
We need to do 11 and 12.
Are we ready to start? Ready to start?
Hey, Mr. Groner, does your Bible have the Apocrypha in it? Because we're going to be in 1 Maccabees, chapter 11, starting at verse 1. And we're thinking about having a giveaway on the channel. My plans are to have a giveaway drawing for a apocrypha just like we have here. It's by J.R. Harrington, a complete apocrypha. And I'm thinking about having a giveaway. So whoever, if you read this after the video or hear this, see this after the video's made, after the live, comment whether y'all would be interested in that giveaway or not. But I'm coming up. I got 5 subscribers left to 500. When I get 510 subscribers, I want to have that giveaway. If everybody seems to be interested in it. But anyway, we're going to start at 1 Maccabees, chapter 11, verse 1.
What are they doing?
Fighting.
Okay. The king of Egypt assembled a vast army, numerous as the sand on the seashore, along with a multitude of ships. His intention was to deceitfully seize the kingdom of Alexander and incorporate it into his own domain.
Hold up.
What?
J.R. Harrington wrote this one. Or translated it, or whatever you want to call it. I'll give details about it after we get through with the reading. Tell you what all's in it and whatnot. All right, go ahead.
Okay, where was I at? He ventured into Syria using peaceful words, and the cities willingly opened their gates to him. They went out to meet him because King Alexander had instructed them to do so, considering him his father-in-law. Upon entering the cities, Ptolemy stationed the garrisons of soldiers in each one. As he approached Azotus, the inhabitants.
Oh, Mr. Groner, that
This is in chapter 11.
1 Maccabees, chapter 11, and we're at verse what?
3.
Verse 3. And for those that's got Bible apps, a lot of these apps have got the Apocrypha on them too. If you want to follow in using your phone or computer or whatever. Aye.
Okay, but verse 3. Where was I at?
Verse 3.
Upon entering the cities, Ptolemy stationed garrisons of soldiers in each one. As he approached Azotus, the inhabitants showed him the temple of Dagon, which had been burned down, as well as the ruins of Azotus and its surrounding suburbs. They displayed the bodies strewn about and the graves of those who had fallen in battle near the road. They informed the king that Jonathan was responsible for these acts, aiming to vilify him. Yet the king remained silent. Jonathan went to Joppa and received the king with honor. They greeted each other and stayed there together. Jonathan accompanied the king as far as the river called, what in the world is that? Eleutherus. And then he returned to Jerusalem. King Ptolemy gained control over the coastal cities, extending his dominion up to Seleucia. He harbored I can't read those words. Malevolent. I'm sorry. I'm stuttering. He harbored malevolent intentions against Alexander. Ptolemy dispatched ambassadors to Demetrius, proposing a treaty between them. He offered his daughter, who had been married to Alexander, to Demetrius suggesting that he should reign in his father's kingdom. Ptolemy expressed regret for having given his daughter to Alexander, accusing him of attempting to assassinate him. Ptolemy slandered Alexander, alleging that he coveted the kingdom. Consequently, he took back his daughter from Alexander and bestowed her upon Demetrius. Ptolemy distanced himself from Alexander, and their animosity became evident. Ptolemy entered Antioch and crowned himself with two diadems, one symbolizing Egypt and the other representing Asia. Meanwhile, King Alexander was in Cilicia at the time and contending with rebellious factions in the region. When Alexander received news of Ptolemy's actions, he marched to confront him in battle. Ptolemy assembled a formidable army and engaged Alexander, forcing him to flee. Alexander sought refuge in Arabia to ensure his safety, while King Ptolemy rose to prominence. In Arabia, Zabdil, an Arabian, executed Alexander and sent his head to King Ptolemy. King Ptolemy passed away 3 days later, and those who were in the strongholds were defeated by those within the camp. Demetrius assumed kingship in the 167th year. During that time, Jonathan gathered the people of Judea to capture the fortress of Jerusalem. They constructed numerous war machines for the task. However, certain wicked individuals who despised their own nation approached King Demetrius and informed him that Jonathan was besieging the fortress. Okay. Making sure everybody's not talking. Okay. King Demetrius immediately traveled to Ptolemais and sent a letter to Jonathan commanding him to cease the siege and come to him urgently for a discussion. Nevertheless, upon hearing this, Jonathan ordered the continuation of the siege. He selected some of the elders of Israel and the priests to accompany him, willingly exposing himself to danger. Carrying gifts such as gold, silver, and garments, Jonathan journeyed to King Ptolemy in Ptolemais and gained favor in his eyes. However, certain wicked individuals from Jonathan's own nation lodged complaints against him. Nevertheless, the king treated Jonathan as his predecessor had done previously, bestowing honor upon him in the presence of his associates. He reaffirmed Jonathan's position as high priest and bestowed upon him all the previous honors, making him the chief among his friends. Jonathan appealed to the king to grant Judea exemption from tribute, along with control over 3 regions of Samaria and their borders. In return, he promised the king 300 talents. The king agreed to Jonathan's request and sent him letters confirming these arrangements. The letter from King Demetrius to his brother Jonathan and the Jewish nation conveyed greetings. We were providing you with a copy of the letter we wrote to Lasthenes, our superior, concerning you. This is for your information. King Demetrius greets Lasthenes, his superior. And these names, I just make them up because I can't pronounce them. I just
do it the best you can.
I just say it however it looks. Okay. I'm in verse 33. We have resolved to show kindness to the nation of the Jews who are our allies and uphold justice. We acknowledge their goodwill towards us. Therefore, we confirm to them all the borders of Judea, including the 3 cities of Ephraimia, Lydia, and Ramatha, which are now part of Judea, taken from Samaria and all their surrounding territories. These areas are to be designated for those who offer sacrifices in Jerusalem instead of the annual payments previously made to the king, as well as for the produce of the land and the trees. Concerning other obligations, such as tithes and tributes, we release them from these responsibilities. This also includes salt pans and the crowns presented to us. We grant all these provisions to them, and they shall remain in effect perpetually without any revocation. Therefore, ensure that a copy of these arrangements is made and given to Jonathan. It should be prominently displayed on the holy mountain. King Demetrius, seeing that the land was peaceful and there was no opposition, disbanded his entire army, allowing each soldier to return to his own place except for the foreign forces he had gathered from various nation islands. All the troops who had served his predecessors despised him, and that time Tryphon, who had previously been loyal to Alexander, observed the army's discontent with Demetrius. He approached Emalcule, the Arabian, who had raised Antiochus, the son of Alexander.
Son of Alexander.
Verse 40. Tryphon urged Emalcule to hand over Antiochus to him so he could become king in the place of his father. He recounted to Emalcule all that Demetrius had done and how his soldiers detested him. Tryphon remained there for many days. Jonathan sent a message to the king Demetrius requesting that he expel those occupying the fortresses in Jerusalem and the strongholds as they were fighting against Israel. Demetrius responded to Jonathan, assuring him that he not only agreed with his request, but would bestow great honor upon him and his nation when opportunity arose. Moreover, Demetrius asked Jonathan to send him troops and assist him since the entire army had deserted him. Jonathan dispatched 3,000 brave soldiers to Antioch, and they arrived to the king's delight, and the inhabitants of the city, numbering around 120,000 men, gathered together and intended to kill the king. The king fled into the palace while the city dwellers guarded the city passages and initiated the battle. The king summoned the Jews for assistance, and they swiftly came to his aid, dispersing throughout the city. On that day, they killed 100,000 men, set the city on fire, and acquired abundant spoils, ultimately saving the king. And the city inhabitants observed the Jews' conquest of the city and that they desired. Discouraged, they cried out to the king, making supplications and saying, "Grant us peace and let the Jews cease their assault on us in the city." They laid down their weapons and made peace, and the Jews were celebrated in the presence of the king and all those in his realm. They gained great renown throughout the kingdom and returned to Jerusalem with plentiful spoils. King Demetrius then took his seat on the throne of his kingdom, and the land was tranquil under his rule. However, he acted deceitfully, breaking all his promises, and distanced himself from Jonathan. He did not reward him according to the benefits he had received, causing him significant trouble. Afterward, Tryphon returned with Antiochus, a young boy who was crowned king. All the troops that Demetrius had dismissed gathered around Tryphon, and they fought against Demetrius, who turned and fled. Tryphon took control of the elephants and established his dominion over Antioch. Young Antiochus sent a letter to Jonathan, confirming him in the high priesthood and appointing him ruler over 4 cities, as well as designated him as one of the king's friends. He sent golden vessels for Jonathan's service, granted him permission to drink from the golden cup, clothed him in purple, and adorned him with the golden buckle. He appointed Jonathan's brother Simon as governor from the borders of Tyre to the confines of Egypt. Jonathan then embarked on a journey, passing through cities beyond the river. All the Syrian forces gathered to support him, and he arrived in Ascalon, where the city inhabitants welcomed him honorably. This is a long chapter. Okay, 63. From there he proceeded to Gaza, but the people of Gaza shut him out. Jonathan besieged the city, burned the surrounding suburbs, and seized the spoils. The men of Gaza made supplications to Jonathan, and he extended his right hand to them. He took their sons as hostages and sent them to Jerusalem. Then he traveled throughout the country as far as Damascus. Jonathan received news from the generals of Demetrius that treacherously come with a large army to Kadesh and Galilee, intending to remove him from his position in the kingdom. Jonathan went against him, leaving his brother Simon in the land. Simon encamped against Bethshura, besieging it for many days and confined its inhabitants. They requested peace from him, and he granted it to them. He expelled them from there, took the city, and stationed a garrison in it. Jonathan and his army camped by the water of Gennesar, and before dawn they were prepared to They were prepared in the plain of Azor. Suddenly, the army of the foreigners confronted him in the plain and set an ambush for him in the mountains. However, when he went out to engage them, the ambushers emerged from their positions and joined in battle. All those on Jonathan's side fled, and none remained except Mattathias, the son of Absalom. Wasn't Absalom David's son?
Yeah.
Mattathias. And Judas, the son of Calphi, and the chief captain of the army. Jonathan tore his garments, cast earth upon his head, and prayed. Then Jonathan turned back to fight them, and he put them to flight. They engaged in battle once again. Those who fled from his side witnessed this and returned to him. Together they pursued the enemies all the way to their camp at Cades, and they reached there. On that day, 3,000 men of the foreigners fell, and Jonathan returned to Jerusalem. Okay, that's a long chapter 11 we just read. Man. Chapter 12 is not as bad, but it's still long. Are they bored, or do they want to go on further?
Oh, I think we can do another chapter. If we don't start doing multiple chapters, we're going to be forever in First Maccabees.
I know, because it's like 16 chapters long. Woo! Those names are hard.
Yeah, those names is something else.
I just kind of read over them and keep going because I can't stop figuring them out. I'll be here all night. That's like my name. Nobody can spell it. They see it, they don't know how to pronounce it. Sawdust says, let's talk.
What we're going to talk about?
You over there, they can't see you. All they see is my big ugly mug.
Oh.
Come on over here. They can't see you over there. You the one supposed to be on camera. Uh-oh, something failed.
Throw the mouse out.
Okay, let me see it. Okay.
Move, little bitty.
Well, somebody's tangled up in
a little bitty. There
okay.
She is.
Okay. All right, get over here. Now I got something.
Now see, just roll it and get off of it. You gotta come on. That's what I'm telling you. This thing's been doing here lately.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, I got the Bible on CD out at the wood shop, and I'll just turn it on. That's how I know a lot of the scripture. I don't know it a lot by book, chapter, and verse, but you can get me started on scripture. If you can tell me the gist of the story, I'll pretty much quote you where you're at. But anyway, guys, we'll start on chapter 12 here. Unless anybody got any questions. Anybody got any questions? Going once, going twice.
You want to talk on the phone sometime? Yeah,
sure, making sawdust. If you want to, you can send me an email at allenguthrie1019@gmail.com. That's ALLENGUTHRIE1019@gmail.com. And we can exchange numbers on there. Matter of fact, I'll give you my mailing address. But be sure to include yours. I might have to send you a sticker or something. And I would love to have a making sawdust sticker. Of course, now I've already got an imitation making sawdust sticker on my box out there. You've probably seen that where I made that box for my grinder stand. I had to make me a making sawdust sticker. I will mention this though, guys. I know it's Sunday. I don't want to be interpreted as being deceitful or anything, but we do not keep Sunday. I do not believe in Sunday worship. I believe we can worship every day of the week. It's not my point. I believe that the Ten Commandments, the fourth commandment, gave us instruction to keep this Sabbath. The Sabbath ain't just any which old day in the week. It's an appointed Sabbath, and I think when we read the commandments, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy, I think Yahweh knew that we knew, especially at that time that he gave it. They understood what day the Sabbath was on, and we know from history, the Nicene Council in 325 AD and the worst council, the Laodicean Council in 363, 364, they made keeping the Sabbath, the Saturday Sabbath, they made that illegal in 363, 364. So we know that the original Sabbath was on Saturday. The Jews have been a timepiece to keep all of these commandments. I believe that's why they are who they are. They've been designated as law keepers, timekeepers. The new moons are still spotted by the Jews today. The feasts are still kept by the Jews today. The Sabbath, Saturday Sabbath, is still kept by the Jews today. I think they are our role models, so to speak. Now, I do believe that the Jews need Yeshua, Jesus. Basically, from what I'm saying is, there's a lot of the doctrines of the Sunday church we still believe in. We still believe in Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus. We believe on his work on the cross. But we still keep the Torah laws as best we can. A lot of people will jump back and say, well, you can't keep the Torah laws. You can't keep those feast days because you can't do sacrifice. Nobody can do sacrifice right now. The temple was destroyed. And if you look at Jerusalem, Israel right now is trying to get the temple rebuilt. They've already sacrificed the red heifer, according to some sources. So the sacrifices are fixing to be reinstituted. They never was done away with. A lot of people will say, well, those laws were done away with. They were nailed to the cross. Show me a prophet that ever said that that would come about in the Old Testament. You can't even find it in the New Testament where they say it's been done away with. Paul kept the Sabbath day his whole life. He kept all the laws. He was accused of teaching against the laws of Moses, but he was found innocent. So in that regard, guys, I don't want to be interpreted as being deceitful. We do not keep Sunday. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the Sunday church that we don't agree with. That's our belief. Y'all believe how you want to, but I would highly suggest study some of these things out. We don't keep the general holidays of these traditional man's holidays. We don't keep them, and we don't agree with the thought that they were conquered. We conquered those holidays for Jesus. No, God said, don't worship me in that manner. So he's not looking at that. That's our opinion on it. We don't keep Sundays. We keep Torah. We keep all the biblical feasts. We watch for the new moons on each month. There's a lot of differing beliefs, but that's what we believe. I believe that's the reason we started in First Maccabees, and I know that the whole book of the Maccabees, First Maccabees, gives a whole lot of detail, and it kind of detracts from the central story of the Maccabees. Essentially, the Maccabees were invaded by Greeks Epiphanes, Epiphanies, Epiphane, however you pronounce it.
I don't know.
However you pronounce it, they were all invaded by Epiphanes. They were taken over. They were all the whole gist of taking them over. They were trying to Hellenize the Jews, get them to forget their God, to forget their laws, to tear down the temple. They trampled the temple, desecrated the temple. They put a false god in the temple, slaughtered swine on the altar in the temple. That's where Daniel was talking about the abomination of desolation that first happened in the book of Maccabees. I think it's going to happen again. I think Maccabees was given to us as a foreshadowing of what's to come. But that's exactly what we see now. You can't hardly go to the grocery store and buy anything, any kind of meat product that hadn't got swine in it. If you're not used to reading the labels and researching this stuff out, you're probably not noticing there's swine in it. But we do not eat swine. We don't eat slick skinned fish,
oysters.
You know, we eat biblically clean food. But that's what they were doing to the Jews in that day. They was making them eat pork. They was
and some of them chose to starve to death.
Yeah. And some of them were killed, martyred for not eating the swine. Just like a few weeks ago, I read the story of where the woman had 7 sons. And one by one, her sons were killed by the Greeks for not eating the swine. That tells me it's pretty important not to eat swine, to eat biblically clean.
Yeah, because he's not going to let us get away with it if they didn't get away with it.
That's what I was just fixing to say. God is the respecter of no person. If he expected the Jews at that time to abide by his commandments, he's going to expect us to too. He's not going to do to Israel what he done. And then we all of a sudden, because we claim we grafted in, what gives us the authority to think that we don't have to abide by what they were instructed to abide by? But guys, that's just a synopsis or just a brief guideline of what we believe in. Like I say, that's us, and I would highly suggest anybody else study out. The Bible says study to show yourself approved. That's what each one of our duties is. It's the full duty of man. To obey his commandments, study them out, make sure we're right. The scripture says taste and see. How does it say?
Taste and, I don't know, taste and see.
Taste and see. Test the spirits.
Oh, is that what you're trying to say? Test the spirits to see if they be...
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, that's a brief guideline of what we believe. And like I say, I'm just trying to be transparent with it. But anyway, we're going to finish.
You already been on 58 minutes.
Yeah. We can go as long as we need to go. Where you at?
Chapter 12.
Okay. All right, so looking out for the finish, okay?
Okay, you want to start reading?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Chapter 12. Recognizing the opportune moment, Jonathan selected certain men and dispatched them from Rome to reaffirm and renew their alliance. He also sent letters to the Spartans and other places using the same format. Upon arrival in Rome, they gained access to the Senate and conveyed the following message. Jonathan the high priest and the Jewish nation have sent us to restore and strengthen their friendship an alliance as it existed before. The Senate provided them with letters addressed to the governors in each region, instructing them to ensure safe passage for the emissaries into the land of Judah. Here is a copy of the letter Jonathan wrote to the Spartans. Jonathan the high priest, along with the elders of the nation, the priests, and the rest of the Jewish people, extend greetings to our brethren and the Spartans. Many years ago, letters were exchanged between Onias, the high priest at that time, and Arias, who served among you. These letters affirmed our brotherhood, as the enclosed copy reveals. Onias welcomed the ambassador with great respect and received the letters, which confirmed our alliance and friendship. Although we have consolation of the sacred scriptures in our possession and have no immediate need for such confirmation, we have chosen to reach out to you to renew our bond of brotherhood and friendship, lest we become entirely estranged. It has been a long time since you last corresponded with us. We therefore unfailingly remember you on all occasions, be it during our festivals or on other suitable days, offering sacrifices and practicing observances as it is right and fitting for brethren.
All right, Mr. Jim. Oh, man, glad you could join us at least for this long. Take care, and we'll be praying for you, Mr. Jim. Appreciate you joining in with us, and we'll see you the next time. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We rejoice in our prosperity. However, we have faced numerous trials and wars from all sides, with the neighboring kings waging battles against us. Nevertheless, we have not burdened you with our allies and friends from these conflicts. Through divine assistance, we have delivered, and our enemies have been humbled. Consequently, we have chosen Numenius, son of Antiochus, and Antipater, son of Jason, and sent them as envoys to the Romans, aiming to reinstate the former friendship.
Is everybody still with us?
Got one.
I think that's me.
It's you. Everybody's gone, I think. We've bored them to death.
All right, finish reading the chapter.
Okay. We have instructed them to also visit you, convey your greetings, and deliver our letters regarding the renewal of our brotherhood. Now we kindly request your response to this matter. Here is a copy of the letter that was sent to Onias. Arius, the king of the Spartans, sends greetings to Onias, the high priest. It has been recorded that the Spartans and the Jews are brethren and descendants of Abraham. Now that we are aware of this, we request that you inform us of your well-being. We have likewise communicated to you that our livestock and possessions are at your disposal, and yours is likewise ours. We have commanded that these matters be made known to you. Meanwhile, Jonathan received news that Demetrius' generals had returned with a larger army than before, intending to wage war against him. Therefore, he left Jerusalem and encountered them in the land of Hamath, not allowing them to enter his territory. Jonathan sent spies into their camp and returned and reported that the enemy planned to attack under the cover of night. As the sun set, Jonathan ordered his men to remain vigilant and armed throughout the night, ready for battle. He stationed sentinels around the camp. Upon learning that Jonathan and his men were prepared for combat, the enemy became terrified and anxious, leading them to fight fires in their camp. However, Jonathan and his companions were unaware. Flip the page. Golly. Unaware of his development until the morning, and they observed the burning lights. Jonathan pursued the enemy, but was unable to overtake them as they crossed the Eleuthерus River. Jonathan then turned his attention to Zabian Arabians, defeating them and seizing their spoils. He continued to march and reached Damascus, traversing the entire region. Meanwhile, Simon advanced as far as Ascalon and neighboring fortresses. He diverted to Joppa and took possession of it, for he had learned of a plot to hand over the stronghold to supposed supporting Demetrius. Simon stationed a garrison there to remain controlled. After Jonathan returned, he gathered the elders of the people and made a decision with them to construct a fortress in Judea. They resolved to fortify the walls of Jerusalem and build a barrier between the citadel and the city, effectively isolating it so there would be no commerce, neither buying nor selling. Together they commenced. Sorry, it's getting dark. The construction of the city, focusing on the section of the wall and had been destroyed under the brook. Jonathan oversaw the repair of the area known as Cappadocia. Meanwhile, Simon built up Adadia in this region of Cephalia, fortifying it and installing gates and bars. At this time, Tryphon devised a plan to make himself king of Asia and seize the throne, intending to lay his hand against King Antiochus. Fearing that Jonathan would oppose him and engage in battle, Tryphon sought to capture him and kill him. So he rose up and went to Bethshan. Jonathan, leading a force of 40,000 experienced soldiers, went out to confront Tryphon and arrived at Bethshan. Witnessing Jonathan's vast army, Tryphon dared not raise a hand against him. Instead, he welcomed Jonathan with honor and spoke highly of him to all his associates and presented him with gifts. Boy, wasn't he a chicken? Mm-hmm. He instructed his troops to obey Jonathan as they would obey himself. Tryphon asked Jonathan, "Why have you troubled the people when we are not at war? Therefore, send the soldiers back to their homes and select a few men to accompany you. Come with me to Ptolemais, and I will hand it over to you along with the other strongholds, the army, and all who hold positions of authority. Then I will depart, for that is the purpose of my arrival." Jonathan, trusting Tryphon's words, complied with his request. He dismissed his army, and they returned to the land of Judah. However, he retained 3,000 men, sending 2,000 to Galilee while keeping 1,000 by his side. As Jonathan arrived in Ptolemais, the inhabitants of the city closed the gates and captured him and put to death all those that had entered with him using the sword. Subsequently, Tryphon dispatched an army and cavalry to Galilee and the vast plain with the aim of annihilating Jonathan's forces. Upon learning of Jonathan's capture and the slaughter of his companions, they rallied together, encouraging one another, and prepared for battle. Witnessing the determination of those who pursued them, they turned back, recognizing the importance of preserving their own lives. Consequently, they peacefully returned to the land of Judah. They mourned Jonathan and his comrades deeply, and Israel lamented a great sorrow. At this time, the surrounding nations conspired to destroy them, for they believed, "They have no leader or helper. Let us wage a war against them and erase their memory from the face of the earth." So
they was trying.
So chapter 13, we still got.
All right, so is there anybody still with us?
We don't run them off. We gotta pray for everybody.
Well, if there's not going to be anybody here, I just soon to pray myself, not publicly. Is there nobody here?
There's two people there, see?
There's two people there.
There's two of them. They're looking back at us. Hey, how y'all doing over there?
We doing okay. How y'all doing?
Them two crazy people sitting there looking. They looking back at us, and we looking at them. They looking back at us like, "Well, what y'all doing?"
Right. Well, I guess everybody has departed. So, Mr. Jim, Mr. Groner, we're going to pray for you tonight, as well as all my YouTube friends, Facebook friends, all my subscribers on both platforms. I hope somebody got a little bit out of this reading of the Maccabees, and we can see the Gentile push to try their best to stamp out all the teachings of Yahweh, the laws of Yahweh, the commandments of Yahweh, the fruitful traditions. First it was Judas Maccabees, then his brother. Now we're seeing Jonathan, trying to stamp out the Jews. The Jews isn't the main question. What everybody hates is Yahweh. Yeshua truly said he was the way, the truth, and the life. And in John, starting with verse 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. All right, so if Yeshua is our God, just like Doubting Thomas said, my Lord and my God. A lot of people try to stamp out the Word, the commandments, the teachings, the instructions of Yahweh. Those are one and the same God. The Word is God. That's what the Gentiles are trying to stamp out, left and right. This book of First Maccabees is exactly teaching exactly the Gentiles trying to stamp all of that out. Was I born Gentile? Yeah, my history, family history goes back to Scotland. Doesn't go back to Israel. Of course, now we know eventually it goes back down to 2 people, Adam and Eve. First 8 people, Noah and his wife, and sons and daughter-in-laws. Then it goes back down to 2 people, Adam and Eve. So we're all related, just depends on how far you go back. But this is the intention of the Gentiles. I was born a Gentile. I converted and was grafted in. I do not boast of those who were cut off, because I know Yahweh can graft them back in, and he can cut me off. Matter of fact, if you go over to Romans, it'll tell you exactly what I just told you. But no part of the Bible has been done away with. No part of the Bible is invaluable. 2 places, Revelations and Deuteronomy, I think. It tells you, do not add and do not subtract. From my understanding, that would be from cover to cover. Don't subtract from it. Don't add to it. And if anybody can prove me wrong, can show me where Torah has been done away with, I challenge you to change my mind. I know that was Charlie Kirk's deal. Change my mind. But I've studied it long enough and hard enough. I'm not going to be able to. Sunday was not the original worship day. Like I said, Brother Schultz, it comes down to somewhere down the line we're all going to be affiliated some which way or another. I ain't studied a lot on not genealogy. What do you call it? For ancestry. I haven't done a lot of studies on ancestry, and Brother Schultz My pastor up there in Jackson, he just sent me a message saying Scottsboro Simeon. So he's watching. He ain't commenting on the page, but he's watching. Love you, Brother Schultz. Oh, but somewhere back down the line, we're all affiliated with one another. We're kinfolk somehow or another. Oh, he broke my train of thought. How about that?
We was talking about how your ancestors wore dresses.
Yeah. I could have killed them that wore the kilt.
Can you imagine him in a kilt? Him and his white hairy legs, little bitty short hairy legs. He would have been just something to look at. I'm telling you.
Hey, as long as I had them bagpipes and knowed how to play them, that'd be all right.
I'd have been all over you.
Man. But guys, I challenge each one of you. If you can change my mind, change it.
We're trying,
bro.
We try not to look like we
enough medicine, you can feel good all over.
Especially when you hacked up on NyQuil.
But there's a fellow got down and studied the scripture. There's no way you can argue that Torah is still for all of us. Oh, I don't know how better to explain it. There's a spirit that's going to keep you away from it. You know, back when I was in the Baptist church, and I got saved in a Baptist church.
What was you saved from?
Back then, I had a fire insurance policy. Now I've got a policy against sin, the transgression of Torah. But anyway, when I was baptized in the Baptist church, they gave me a Bible, and in the cover of that Bible it says, this Bible will keep you away from sin, and sin will keep you away from this Bible. If you fail to study these things out, I believe it to be sin on you, because that's the whole duty of a man. Do the will of God and study to show himself approved. But anyway, Brother Schultz, looks like it's me, you, and one other that hasn't announced themselves. I think all of our chatters done flew the coop. But anyway, guys, love you. Since everybody's flew the chat, I'll say the prayer for next time everybody hangs in with us. All right. Look, love all y'all. Y'all take care, and you know what I'm going to say. Meet you. But as always, guys, everything's going to be all right. If you're right, be right tonight. Love y'all, and we'll see you more later, amigos. See you. Bye, Bro Schultz.
Bye.
There you go.